This channel is supported by TrueFire. TrueFire is an online library of lessons from some of my favourite players. There's thousands of lessons on there. You can use the promo code JNC40 to get 40% off of any of their courses. Over time, as this channel has grown and as I've got more involved in making gear demos and stuff like that, I think my stance on a few things has sort of changed a little bit. I think it changes a little bit because you're more in the kind of space of people that you used to think were probably just doing stuff because they're paid to do it, showing you pieces of gear because they're paid to do it and because they got it for free and all that sort of stuff. So that was kind of like my stance. Basically, I was approached by Line 6 after I made a video with Helix Native, sort of way back in 2018, I think. And they offered to send me a piece of the equipment that sets houses on fire, the Line 6 relay. Of course, at the time I was like, yeah, that sounds great. Then it set fire to my house. No. Then I did a video with that, and I said to the guy that I was chatting to, I've seen some stuff about this Line 6 HX Stomp that has come out. I think this was off of the back. The year before that, I had gone to a hotel gig for a month away, and I had taken the Yamaha Magic Stomp, which kind of is reminiscent of the HX Stomp, right? Yeah, I had a Kemper at the time, but I thought I don't want to take that. And it kind of made sense that the HX Stomp was like the successor in some ways. I'd heard a lot about Helix modeling, and you know, the Helix didn't want the full Helix, didn't want to spend that sort of money. So I said I'd be interested in checking out the HX Stomp. That's kind of how it started in November of 2018. They sent me this thing here. My channel at the time, probably, you know, 1,000 to 2,000 subscribers. As it's gone on, this has become the piece of gear that I've used every day, basically for 5 years now. You know, if I'm going away, one of these always is in the bag. Most of the gigs that I've played, there's been an HX Stomp on the board. It's the piece of gear that I've used the most. My general stance is that I tend to want to demo gear that I've paid for more than anything else, because I feel like you have like that actual relationship to the gear. In some cases, that's obviously not the case. You know, there's pieces of gear that companies will send me, which I'll try to tell you. And if it's a paid demo, I'll also do that. But so Line 6 specifically, or Yamaha in the UK, is who I deal with, not Line 6, have sent me a couple of HX Stomps. I think the HX Stomp XL, this white HX Stomp down here, the HX1 obviously. I did pay for the Helix, the full Helix, but I got a discount on that. I bought the HX Effects, but yeah, so I've had a few pieces of free gear, and they have paid me to do a few pieces of work. So they did pay me to do a Helix Native video. They did pay me to do an Artist Tones video, but of course there's loads of people that have done those that have not done also like 2,000 videos with an HX Stomp. So the reason that I think I really appreciate the HX Stomp so much, you know, even though I've got fractal gear here, I've had the Tone Master Pro, you know, I've had the Quad Cortex, I've got the Hotone Ampero Stomp, Boss gear. I think it's just, I keep coming back to it because it sits in this really sweet spot of sounding really good, but also being priced very well. Also encourages experimentation. Like I sat down with the HX Stomp and thought, right, well, let's just tweak a preset. I'm going to add the Line 6 litigator in with the new cabs. I'm going to chuck in a Space Echo because I was playing with the Strymon El Capistan that I've been loaned by UK people that are representing Strymon. And it just reminds me that the Strymon El Capistan to a normal person is going to cost like £250, £300. If you had two Strymon pedals, basically they add up to the cost of an HX Stomp very quickly. But the versatility of the HX Stomp, the amount of amp models in there, most of which I think actually sound great, having experimented with them, and coming from the Kemper, which was a thing at the time that I was using. It was like experimentation on a Kemper costs money in a lot of cases. Like you have to buy profile packs off of people like Tone Junkie or folks like Michael Britt and so on, where you've already spent £1,500 on the piece of gear, and then to get new tones you have to continue spending more money. That's something that I really appreciate about the Line 6 stuff, is that it's kind of all in there already. It's expanding and also encourages experimentation because kind of it's free to experiment. So yeah, I've used the HX Stomp basically every day for about 5 years now. I think it's an incredible piece of gear, even if it was sent to me for free. I would buy more. I have bought for one other person in France as well. The HX Stomp XL came along and I thought, well, what's that for? And was kind of skeptical. I can see why that exists now. At the same time, I'm still thinking about the HX1 in terms of like, that feels expensive when you can only run one algorithm at a time versus the HX Stomp, which can run 8 and which has more capability. This is like half the price of an HX Stomp. Anyway, but you get what I mean. It's difficult for me to see the value so much in the HX1 when the HX Stomp still exists, which I think is the best piece of value gear on the market. So that's a video about that.